Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. So we are up to day 7 of 30 Purple Ink's 30 days. And let's go ahead and draw out our ink. Let me see. Alright, so today's ink is Kobe Maya Purple, and it's a sample. Ooh. Alright, so I'm going to go grab that sample and I will be right back. Okay, so here is our sample. This came from Anderson Pens, Kobe number 14, Maya Purple. And my neighbor just started cutting his grass. It's not too hot today, and I've got the windows open. Although I turned the fan off before I started filming because the fan was too loud, and the air is a little bit still right now. But anyway, if the lawnmower gets too loud, I'll close the window. Okay, so step 1 is to ink up our pen. Ooh, did we get some ink? Well, no, it doesn't look like we did. Try her again. Okay, that time we got some. So this is Maya Purple, but it's looking really blue. And I noticed back when I was doing all of the blue inks that I had several that they were kind of purple, but they were kind of blue, and I decided to include them in the blues anyway. One of those is Tanzanite Sky, which I really enjoyed doing, but since I already did that one for my blue samples, or my blue ink month, I won't be doing that one for this month of purple. Even though I think it's probably more of a purple ink than a blue ink. But that's okay. If you are interested in that, you can always check that one out back in my my June 30 Inks 30 days. Okay, so we are going to do our sample card. So this is Kobe number 14, Maya Purple. And I have to say, some pens, when I ink them up, it takes them a while for the ink to get flowing enough to write. But with this Lamy, I've been inking it up every day. I've been cleaning it every day and inking it up every day. And it writes the first time, every time, which is wonderful. Because there are several pens I have struggled with. I'm trying to think which ones. The one that comes to mind most clearly is the Platinum Curados. And I filled that one up with ink. I mean, I had a lot of issues with that pen, but when I finally was able to ink it up, I couldn't get it to write for days, and I kept trying it, and it finally wrote, and now it seems to be okay, but it doesn't like changing inks. It just likes to be inked up, and then that's it. But this one, I can change the ink in this one all the time, and it writes great every time. Alright, so we are going to swatch this guy and see how purple or blue he looks. Ooh, okay, he's looking really blue. That's so funny. I could have used this one back when I was doing my blue inks. But, you know, just going by the name, I thought that it was a purple ink, and therefore I couldn't use it for my blue swatches. Well, it's kind of a, I don't know, a deep dark indigo. Again, it can go different ways. It could be blue, it could be purple, it just depends. But I think when we get to the comparison portion of the program, I should get some blue ink cards out to compare with this one to see if it looks more blue or more purple. But I think there might be some sheen coming out on this guy, so we're going to set him aside and let him dry. And now I'm going to close up my sample so I don't spill it. And we're going to do a little bit of writing. All right, so let's take a little bit closer look at our writing. So this is the Clairefontaine, and I would have to say that I think this ink looks really blue. And I don't see a lot of shading in it. It is a very nice color. I like the color a lot. But I don't see much shading. It does look like it got laid down a little bit thicker in some places. But I've heard that shading doesn't show up as well in darker inks. So that might be true here. And then here is the Exceed paper. And again, a little bit of shading in the broad nib, but not a whole lot. It's just a nice deep blue. Alright, so now let's do our calendar swatch. And here is our washi tape of the day. Let's see. Ooh, it is just wanting to tear. But it's some pretty flowers and butterflies. Very nice. And kind of purple, which I thought was appropriate. Now I think this might have been from the same roll of washi tape that took a chunk out of my book yesterday, so we'll have to watch that. And I'll have to peel it up very carefully. No ripping off the tape. Well, I ripped the tape off of the roll, of course, but no ripping the tape off of the paper. But again, I think when washi tape gets older, it gets a bit more sticky. And also perhaps if it's lower quality washi tape, it might be a bit more sticky. And I glued down the place that got ripped up yesterday, so hopefully it will get through okay today. Ooh, and I don't think that piece is very straight. I don't know. The dots just aren't as helpful for me as a line is. I guess in my brain I feel like dots can go off in all directions, so I do go off in all directions. It's much more easy for me to write or draw a straight line on lined paper or graph paper than it is on dot paper. Because on dot paper, I don't know, a diagonal line is a straight line, but it's not a horizontal line. Alright, let's see what this looks like. And I'm not going to put it on too heavily because, again, this area right here is the torn area. But we'll see how that does. And I keep meaning to show the back of the pages so we can see what the bleed through looks like, but I keep forgetting. So hopefully this time I will remember. So we will set him aside to dry for a bit. And cap our swatch. And let's look at our sample card. So yes, this is definitely my color. This is a deep blue with some red sheen. I love it immediately. Again, not purple. The name is misleading. Now, I don't know where the name Maya Purple comes from. I don't know if they're referring to, you know, some kind of paint or dye or berry or something that's related to the Mayan people. But it is a very pretty color. And let me go grab some of my blue swatches. I will be right back. Okay, I was just going to pull out a few cards, and I pulled out way too many because blue is my thing. And I just have tons of them. So let me see. Let's start with some of the darker purples and see if anybody comes close. Or do we want to zoom in a little bit? Let's see if I can do this. Okay. So, ebony purple, definitely purple. There's scribble purple. Yeah, this is totally a blue ink. Now here is Tanzanite Sky, which I actually included in my blue inks in June. But that looks definitely purple compared to this Maya purple. And let's see, here is Private Reserve Tanzanite, that's lighter. So, and here's the DC Superviolet that we just had, Azurite, Dragon's Night. They're all definitely purple. And definitely not a match for this color, which is definitely blue. So let's take a look at some of our blues, and I will try not to overwhelm you with my blues here. Now these are some lighter ones. This is Colorverse Depth. Now compared to that, this is looking more purple, and that's definitely looking more blue. There is KWZ Standard Azure number 5. There is Jelly Bean Blue, again definitely blue. Here is Colorverse Quasar. Now that one's getting a little bit closer, I think. So let's see, here's one of my all-time favorites, Horizon Blue, which I think of as a nice deep dark blue, but then compared with the Maya Purple, it's much lighter, and this is looking much more purple. So you just never know until you get them side by side. There's another new favorite of mine, Pure Pen Saltire, which is, I don't know, kind of close. Let's see, who else do I have? Here is Supernova, Colorverse Supernova, another one of my favorites, but definitely a lighter, brighter blue. Here is Baltimore Canyon Blue. That's one of their only sheening inks. You could see the sheen on here a little bit. And here is Oxford Blue, which is, I think, close in the deepness of the color, but again, it's looking much bluer than the Maya Purple. And Quasar is looking more purple. Okay, I zoomed in too close. Let's back up a little bit. Sometimes we need to see more than just the 3 cards. See, I don't like messing around with that zoom because I'm going to make everybody dizzy. Let's see. So there is the Oxford Blue. So, I'm still thinking these two might be the closest. Not an exact match, but just the closest. because this one is more of a navy kind of color, and that one's looking more purple. And let's see, who else do we have here? Here is Diamine Deep Dark Blue, which is, ooh, I was going to say it's kind of closer to Oxford Blue, but it's even darker than Oxford Blue, with that really interesting orange sheen. So, no, I wouldn't say he's in the running at all. Here's Diamine Maureen, which is, gosh, it's bluer and a lot more sheen. So, And do we already have this one? Azure number 5? I think we did. Okay. So I think those are about my closest blues. And I would probably say these two are the closest. Again, not an exact match, but just the closest of what I have. So this is a very interesting color. It looks blue next to the purple inks, and it looks purple next to the blue inks. So here's kind of a more purple one, and here's kind of a more blue one. So it's right in the middle. Very interesting. All right, well, let's take a look at our calendar page and see how that turned out, and see if I can pull the tape off without ripping the book anymore. So very slowly and carefully. Well, I've been trying to get it to come off piece by piece, and it hasn't wanted to, but now today it does want to. And it is kind of lifting off a little bit of the paper, but that's okay. I'll just go back over those lines. No big deal. Okay, so far so good. And that is the glued area. Okay, so I redid the lines of the calendar. You can kind of see where it pulled up the new line that I made. So I'll have to redo that part, but that's okay. We survived. We survived the washi tape. So yeah, definitely looking blue, but very pretty. Of course, I'm a little biased. I do enjoy the blues, but it's not too far off from some of our darker purples over here. So it doesn't take much of a change in a color to make it look like a really different color. So that's really interesting. All right, so I was going to show the bleed through. So Murasaki, it looked like it tried to bleed through a little tiny bit. And then, no, I'm sorry, this is the Murasaki, right? Yeah. So the Murasaki bled through a little tiny bit, and this edge here was where the paper was torn up. So it looks like it came through that okay. And then let's look at the other side. So who is that? That is the Sulfurino. It just bled right through. But the other ones are hanging on okay. So this paper is pretty fountain pen friendly, I do have to say. I'm enjoying this notebook very much. All right, so where did our swatch card go? Here it is. So this is all for today with our Better Behaved washi tape and our cute little sample from Anderson's, who is trying to get away. Alrighty. So that will do it for September 7th, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. I hope you're enjoying your pens and inks, and see you next time. Bye-bye.